Commander, you are a Death Knight, a champion of the grave. Today I'm going to show you how to play an Unholy Death Knight the easy way, but before I do, let's take a look at how they work. Death Knights use runes and runic power to place diseases and deadly strikes on their foes. Unholy Death Knights fight alongside their undead minion because, as we all know, it's dangerous to go alone. To get the most out of your Death Knight, you will want to follow the following priority. First up is Soul Reaper. It consumes one Unholy rune, but you can only cast it when your target is below 45% health. Next, if your diseases are not on the target, you will want to place them with Outbreak. If Outbreak is on cooldown, you can place them with Plague Strike, which consumes one Unholy rune. Next, you will want to cast Dark Transformation when it becomes available. This supercharges your minion at the cost of one Unholy rune. Next priority is spending your runic power on Death Coil unless Dark Transformation is activated. And watch out for the Sudden Doom proc, which allows you to cast Death Coil at the cost of no runic power. Lastly, you will spend your Death and remaining Unholy runes on Scourge Strike and your Blood and Frost runes on Festering Strike. For AoE, you're going to pretty much do the exact same thing, except you'll spend your Death runes on Blood Boil to help spread your diseases, and be sure to spend the occasional Unholy rune to keep Death and Decay on cooldown. And that is a very basic rundown on how to play an Unholy Death Knight. It all boils down to resource management. But if you're having a hard time, I can help make things a little easier for you. But if you do this, you're not going to get the most out of your Death Knight. This isn't for min-maxing or for serious raiding. It's something that you can fall back on as you learn your rotation, or if you have a disability, like me. You will need a mod called Gnome Sequencer, which can be found on WoW Interface. There will be a link in the description below, so download it, unzip it, and place it in your add-ons folder. Now to make things easier, I have provided a file containing all of my macros designed for Gnome Sequencer. You can find a link to it in the description below. The file is called sequences.lua, so download it and place it in the Gnome Sequencer folder that you just put in your add-ons folder. If you followed all of these steps correctly, you're ready to log into the game and create the macros. Now that you have Gnome Sequencer set up with my sequences file, you are ready to begin making macros in game. It is important that you give the macros the names that I tell you, and that you do not put any text in the macro field. Just name them and place them on your action bar, and Gnome Sequencer will do the rest. Name your first macro Unholy. This macro will take care of your entire rotation except for Soul Reaper. But the second macro, Unholy SR, includes and prioritizes Soul Reaper. Basically, these macros are going to do their best to follow your priority. They'll place diseases with Plague Strike, they'll cast Dark Transformation when it becomes available, spend runic power on Death Coil, and spend your runes on the appropriate abilities. They'll even summon Gargoyle when it's available, and raise your minion if he's not with you already. The only mandatory talent that's used in the macro is Plague Leech. Plague Leech consumes your diseases to create 2 death runes. The macros use it effectively with Plague Strike and to help throttle Plague Strike so that you're not casting it too often. On the flip side, Outbreak is not included in the macros, so you'll have to cast that separately. And since the macros rely heavily on Plague Strike, I only use it in certain situations. And for AoE situations, you'll need to manage Death and Decay and Blood Boil separately. And don't forget to spam these macros or they won't work properly. And keep in mind, Unholy Death Knights are top tier DPS. You will not achieve top tier DPS by using these macros. Macros do not trump skill, so learn your rotation. But they do work pretty well, so feel free to use them as you see fit. And that's pretty much how I play an Unholy Death Knight. If you're interested, give them a try. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that like button, or even the favorite button. And if you found it informative, perhaps you'd like to inform your friends by sharing it with them. And don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see future videos on this channel. Thanks for watching, have a wonderful day, this is TheKephas, until next time.